Without further ado, I'd like to give another warm welcome to the keynote speakers today. We have Alejandra Chavez. Welcome, Mom. She's an international educator and principal with over 30 years of education experience. And we have Gnana Sundari, Mom. Welcome. She's the principal of Sri Aurobindo Mira Universal School. Welcome, Mom. So, ladies, before we move to the course, I would like to get to know each other more a little bit better and get an idea of why you have decided to join education. So take it as an icebreaker. I would like to give the floor first to Mom. Would you be so kind to share with us your personal story and your experience with joining the sector? Thank you.
Yes, of course, the core motivation which made me to dedicate my life to education is the smile on the kids' face. I always love being with children, and when I started my career into the field of education as a teacher, I felt that I should never make the child on the children's face to fade. And so what did I do for that? I just made my classrooms more interesting and innovative, and made all my lessons quite interesting and kept them happy throughout the session. And now being a principal, we have set a team of educators who plan their classes, design the classes, so creative, interesting, and they do keep the children quite happy throughout all the sessions in the school. And adding to our mission is, I like to proudly register here, quote here, adding to the mission of keeping the children happy throughout is my school supporting a lot. Actually, the school Sri Aurobindo Mira Universal School is not just a school. Believe me, it's a castle for children, where children are happy throughout the day, learning, enjoying, and learning the concepts quite happily. And I'm really feeling happy because my dream and passion of making my children happy is accomplished in this school. Thank you.
Nana, Mom, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful vision and your dream. Dedicating your life indeed to such a high purpose is absolutely fascinating, and I'm happy that you've managed to establish a school where you can make your dream come true. And being surrounded with a team that helps you getting closer is also something I respect. Looking forward to hearing more about your approaches in keeping kids' smiles on their face and improving their education. Thank you. Moving forward to Alejandra Chavez. Mom, would you be so kind to share with us your personal story? Thank you.
Absolutely, and I loved my colleague's story too, and how she got in, and that love, I can really see it. That's beautiful. And just like we love to teach kids, they teach us, I think, more sometimes. They put everything into perspective and just make life and teaching so much more joyful. So 30 years that I've been doing this completely has gone by so quickly. And I'm just so happy that I'm doing this.
Alejandra, Mom, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful story. It is absolutely heartwarming to hear the passion with which you describe your 30-year career. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more about your international experience. I'm also very glad that no matter what's your personal twist, both of you have devoted your careers to serving the students and making a better environment for them. So without further ado, let's move to the core of this discussion, which is precisely the pedagogical methods and initiatives taken not only in your current schools, throughout your careers, to nurture curiosity among students. And again, I would like to give the floor to Nashi, Mom. Would you be so kind to share with us your best practices to engage students? Thank you.
Naturally, children are born with a curious mind. Do you agree with me? Yes. I have experienced children, they wonder at everything they see. And mostly, when I'm among the students community, they do often question me, ma'am, why is the sky blue in color? And why is the ocean water salty? So this innate desire in the children should be encouraged. Suppose if you want to grow a plant, we need to feed the plant, right? And curiosity is the same. And that's what we do in Universal School. So like I like to just express what we do at our school is, apart from the usual labs which every school has, we do have research labs and research centers for our kids where our children experiment things. And what do our educators do? They just sit back and watch their failures every time, because we believe that a trial and error method, every time the child fails, he just get back, rethinks like why did I miss it and why I am unable to accomplish it. And one such example I like to show you. Could you see this hand clock? Yes, this is made by one of a 6th grader, right? And every attempt he tried to accomplish it. Every time he tried an error method he followed. Actually, he was not able to make it. And then one fine day, he came to my room, gifting me this, "Ma'am, this is for you." So I was really happy seeing that, yes, he has accomplished the task. And when I read his face, I could see a kind of accomplishment, feeling like, yes, I have done it. But when I read his eyes, I saw that he had gained the confidence to just invent more and more in future. And so like we really believe in trial and error methods, and we do experiment before we teach. And not only that, actually we expose our children to the world of reading. We make children read lots and lots of books. We make them explore the world of imagination, as well as actually they know about the world more when they read lot of books. And what we do here is, actually we give a lot of assignments for the children. Like every week they submit a book review, reading a book. And here, as they submit a book review, it's not like they know how to write the book, how to write a book review, but we are making them to know how to read a book. And so like in our school, what we do is, actually when we make the basics so strong, and we sit back and just admire the success of the school.
Thank you, Gnana Mom, for sharing your approaches. I just want to bring back to the beginning of your speech the fact that you're aware how organic curiosity is among kids, and you've devoted the mission of your school to foster and engage and enhance this natural curiosity through innovation, through labs, projects. Encouragement is absolutely fascinating, and I love the way in which you encourage mistakes and the trial and error approach. I believe this is something core for gaining that much needed confidence in students. Thank you, Mom. I would now like to give the floor to Alejandra. Mom, would you be so kind to share with us your best practices and initiatives? Thank you.
Well, I loved hearing all the methods and practices of my colleagues because they're very similar. We are on the same wavelength. I love that. And also being an art teacher, of course, it's been very easy for me to nurture curiosity because art just lends itself so nicely and beautifully for that. And being mainly in the IB inquiry model in curriculum, again, that curriculum also lends for a lot of.
Thank you so much, Alejandra, for sharing your wonderful story. Indeed, you've been extremely fortunate to be an art teacher because kids absolutely love you. But a lot of takeaways from your insights that you've spotted in the art room, and moving those best practices to other classrooms and bringing them to other subjects, it is essential. And now I would like to move the focus to the past 2 years and the ways in which the pandemic has impacted your teaching methods and your schools. Again, I would like to give the floor to Gnana Mom. Would you be so kind to share with us the main challenges the pandemic posed to your school and the ways in which you managed to overcome them? Thank you.
Actually, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed education forever, and a distinct rise of e-learning has been improved. Now, actually in our school, e-learning is nothing new for us because even a couple of years ago, all our classrooms are digitalized, and technology sweeps through a classroom, and teachers through digiboards, and they plan their lesson plans, and like it will be digiboards and teaching, and it goes on like technology is nothing new to us. And when India, the nation, announced the nationwide lockdown, and the very next day when we started our online classes, because actually the teachers have to do just the homework to just fine tune how to teach in the Zoom, that's it. But other than that, everything is set fine, and we didn't find so difficult. And our classes, our online classes are not less an inch than the physical class, because we started a class as we do as a physical class, right from the assembly, reading, accent training, whatnot, EZA classes and extracurricular activity classes, and everything was fine going on. And one advantage here is, before only children learnt in school, but now actually during the pandemic we found the parents also learning with this. Maybe we teach them the accent, the parents know actually it is new to them, they were also like reciting the accent, whatever it is, and they grasping it, and many new concepts taught before they didn't know what happens in the school. And completely it was a transparent system it became, and parents started appreciating us a lot. And we were really happy to showcase that yes, we do have a qualified and quality teachers who really take up this classroom teaching so well. And actually it was really, we found it too optimistic to take up and work on it. And this lockdown, we found the positive side in this. Like I could feel like 100% of our school, like the teaching methodology and everything is known to the whole world.
Nana Mom, thank you so much for sharing your experience. I'm so excited to hear that you've managed to make the most out of this pandemic. Indeed, you've been extremely lucky to have the digital infrastructure when the pandemic struck. So appreciation for making innovation and technology a priority before it became urgent. And something else I would like to pay my respect and tribute to you and your school is the fact that you've passed the test and the challenge of proving yourselves to the parents, because indeed this was something new, bringing the classroom into their homes and having to pass their tests and their the parents' expectations to meet the requirements. I feel like you've done a very good job in that. Thank you so much for sharing. And moving to Alejandro, Mom, would you please be so kind to share with us your experience with the pandemic? Thank you.
Again, very similar to my colleague, where I was in Singapore at the time of the pandemic when it happened. And of course, you know, the school is very tech savvy. The kids know what to do. It wasn't
great. Thank you so much, Alejandro, Mom, for sharing your story. I would like to express my appreciation towards your strategy to focusing more on health and mental well-being instead of academics. So I'm really, really happy to pose this final question to you, which is precisely on the optimistic side of things in the future. I would like to reverse the order of speakers here. So Alejandro, Mom, I would give you the floor to share with us your dream about the utopian education. Thank you.
So my dream would be less emphasis on exams, standardized testing, all that pressure that we put our students under, and just really focus on helping them know them so well to help them reach their potential.
Absolutely. Beautifully said, Mom. Thank you so much for sharing your dream. Indeed, the emphasis should be on preparing lifelong learners for the future, whatever that is. And something that really fascinates me is the fact that we need to spot. And last but not least, I would like to give the floor to Nana, Mom. Would you be so kind to share with us your vision? Thank you.
Sure. My vision, my dream. I do have several dreams and vision. And I like to answer this not in the place of a principal. So let me remind my memory back being myself in school, and shall I share my dream as being a student, not as a principal? Yes, like when I was in school days, I wanted a school infrastructure to be in such a way where I like to share with you here. No, like I never wanted to be confined in inside the four walls of a classroom, and where all the soft boards are decorated with charts related to the teaching which the teacher is gonna teach. Now, like I wish to be, if you wanted to travel with me to the utopian dreamland, you can. So now I wish to take as an English language class where an English teacher teaches. Take it like for she teaches the poem Daffodils by William Wordsworth. And here I wanted the teacher to disguise herself as William's Wordsworth, and wandering as lonely as a cloud, and the whole classroom to be transformed into the scenery which Wordsworth was depicting. Like I wanted a huge mountains and beautiful valleys with golden daffodils tossing their heads, and myself sitting and listening to Wordsworth as he depicts the beautiful scenery. And not only the English class, be it science class, like I wanted the complete feel of landing in the space where I can see the sun and join hands with the earth, rotating and revolving around the sun, and be it for history class and any class. So I wanted a classroom setup to be here where I learn really, and not just learning bookish and memorizing and putting things on the board. And another vision of me is the freedom for the children. Throughout the day, the children are in the classroom, and repeatedly they move into every session, be it English, maths, science class. Sometimes being a student, if I became down or distracted, so I wish to have a trumpet card, taking the permission from the teacher, move to music lab or to the art lab, or even to the squash court, playing squash and refreshing myself, and back to the class. So, and mostly my vision of an utopian school is I mainly focus on the quality of the teacher. I never wanted to compromise the quality of the teacher, even for the kindergarteners. So I wish if the quality of the teacher is exactly how we expect, then there will be no flaw in having a rich educational system.
Thank you so much, Mom, for sharing your dream and putting yourself again in the shoes of a student, because this is essential. Knowing that, like, the kids we live these days, they've been using tablets and phones since early ages. Therefore, the blackboard is nothing that could be excited of. The immersive environment you've described is definitely a necessary step in order to foster curiosity and to cultivate creativity. So thank you so much for sharing. So I'm afraid this puts the end of our discussion today. I would like to thank you for being part of our discussion and our mission to bring educators closer. I would also like to thank Suresh Kumar for being part of the audience today. Thank you for your interest. And I feel like we've all learned something new today. If not, we feel part of this broader community. I felt like no matter where you are in the world, you're sharing the same vision and more or less same methods and same experience with the pandemic. So I'm very happy to hear that. And if there's something I could bring to this discussion, is the fact that we at Kalam Labs are extremely supportive of the educator's mission. So we not only facilitate dialogue between principals and educators, but also started initiatives for students. And since we're like all young individuals, motivated in bringing innovation and making education interesting and engaging, we're very much down for bringing immersive experience in making a parallel between the bookish and the science with the interesting engagement technology. And a collaboration coming is the NASA virtual tour, where students have the option to live and immerse themselves in every single NASA mission that has taken place. This process is also mentored by NASA scientists. So I feel like this is an absolutely great option for students who are curious to know more about solar system and astronomy, and again, a way in which we could bring the space to their homes. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to having more conversations in the future. But it was a great pleasure to have you here within this short span of time.